people who don't know us, circumstances that drain us, and times when we find ourselves tempted to respond in ways that don't benefit us. Life throws difficulties at us. But suppose I told you that learning how to cut things off discreetly is the secret to a successful and serene life, not in reacting. This method helps you to master yourself and how you handle anything around you, not only about cutting individuals from your life. It's about learning to regulate your feelings, guard your energy, and finally come to be the finest version of yourself. The great Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca recognized the need of silence, emotional independence, and the need of self-control. They felt that reason should guide their existence instead of emotions. I will be sharing with you 7 life lessons in this video that will help you to approach every difficulty, every person, every time in your life. Thus, make sure you click that subscribe button and start the first course if you are ready to transform into a new version of yourself. Lesson number 1. Recognize what drains you. The first piece of advice comes directly from Marcus Aurelius, who offered the following advice. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. To put it another way, you should quit squandering your energy on activities that do not contribute to your development or your sense of calm. We are surrounded by individuals who are draining to us, events that drive us away from our actual purpose, and diversions that are abundant in the environment in which we live. Recognizing what causes you to feel exhausted is the first step in shutting things off in a stealthy manner. That might be a poisonous acquaintance, a bad family member, a career that doesn't fulfill you, or even social media that leaves you feeling empty. All of these things could be contributing factors. You have the ability to remove yourself from whatever it is that saps your energy after you have identified it. Stoics would argue that your mental tranquility is the most valuable possession you possess, and that it is something that you should do everything in your power to protect. Your ability to preserve your energy will increase as you become more aware of the fact that these external distractions are, in fact, diversions that do not merit your time or attention. Once you have identified the things that exhaust you, it will be much simpler for you to make choices that will safeguard your tranquility. The fact of the matter is that distractions are not only external, they frequently originate from within as well. Occasionally, we may discover that we are unable to break free from cycles of negative thinking, self-doubt, or anxiety about things that are beyond our ability to influence. The power of this internal drain is comparable to, if not greater than, the power of forces from the outside. As an illustration, we might continue to maintain relationships that are no longer beneficial to us out of feelings of guilt or a fear of change. For dread of the unknown or the unknowable, we can continue to work in a job that does not fulfill us to the extent that we would like it to. While scrolling through social media, we could find ourselves comparing ourselves to others and convincing ourselves that we ought to be doing more or being more like them. Our vitality is being depleted by these routines without our even being aware of it. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, advocated that we should place our attention just on the things that are within our sphere of influence. The phrase "wealth does not consist of having great possessions, but rather in having few wants" was uttered by him. In the context of our own lives, this implies acknowledging that we have the ability to control the channel through which we channel our energy and the investments that we choose to make. The more we make an effort to cease reacting to influences from the outside world, the more we begin to concentrate on developing our own inner peace and growth. It takes bravery and self-control to recognize these energy drains and to make the decision to let them go, regardless of whether it is a person, a habit, or an attitude. However, once you do so, you will experience a sense of lightness, clarity, and increased concentration on the things that are genuinely important. The power of silent detachment comes into play at this point in the process. It is not necessary to have a big exit or confrontation. There are times when the most powerful choice you can make is to simply walk away, both intellectually and emotionally. By doing so, you clear your life of the things that are a source of distraction and make room for the things that are beneficial to your development, such as activities that bring you happiness, a sense of purpose, and inner peace. Keep in mind that life is brief and that every single moment of your energy is important. Consequently, you should take a step back and assess what is exhausting you. When you get rid of those distractions, you will be able to begin concentrating on things that are actually in line with the person you want to become. Moreover, this is the first step toward genuine transformation in and of itself. Lesson number 2. Stop seeking validation. Putting an end to the pursuit of validation is the second lesson, which is extremely liberating. One of the most important Stoic thinkers, Epictetus, conveyed the message that we ought to concentrate on the things that are under our control and let go of the things that are not. It is not the events that occur to you that are important. What is important is how you respond to them. When it comes to receiving validation from other people, this has a particularly strong resonance. What percentage of the time do we base our value on the impressions of other people? Can you count the number of times that you have made judgments, whether they were significant or not, depending on what other people would think? They have the ability to influence our perception of who we are by their words, deeds, or simply silence. The desire to be accepted by others can be exhausting, cause us to question our own judgment, and cause us to take actions that are not congruent with who we are at our core. But the truth is that you are the only person who can determine your value. No one else can. Consider the fact that the search for validation is an ongoing process. There will always be another perspective, another norm to follow, and another expectation to complete, regardless of how much recognition you receive from other people. Like jogging on a treadmill that never stops, you are constantly trying to catch up, but you never reach a point where you are satisfied with your performance. The fact of the matter is that the more you look to other people for approval, the more assistanceless you will feel. Your self-assurance is surrendered to the influence of outside factors, and this never results in a sense of fulfillment that may last. Your ability to make the decision to break free from this pattern is one of the freeing aspects of this awareness. You regain control over your own happiness when you learn to stop looking for validation from other people. Your value is no longer determined by external criteria such as the number of likes or comments you receive, or even by the praise you receive from your friends and family. Instead, you learn to discover your self-love and confidence without looking outside of yourself. You come to the realization that you are sufficient despite the fact that other people may have different opinions or thoughts about you. Because of this change in mentality, the way you live your life will undergo a significant transition. Imagine being able to make choices, take action, and cultivate connections without seeking permission on a consistent basis. You do not seek confirmation from the outside world. Rather, you operate from a position of inner confidence which is rooted in your own personal values and convictions. Because you have come to the realization that being validated is something that originates from inside, rather than from the words or views of other people, you no longer seek affirmation. What concerns me is not that I am failing, but that I am doing something I know I shouldn't do, all for the sake of approval. Epictetus reminds us. These are the things that matter to me. Wait for that to set in. Whenever we want to be validated, we frequently make sacrifices to who we are. On the other hand, when we stop looking for validation, we stop compromising who we truly are in order to win the blessing of other people. We, on the other hand, shape our lives in a way that is truly ours. It is also possible that you will start to observe a change in the relationships you have. When it comes to your romantic partnerships and friendships, you will stop trying to get the approval of other people and instead begin to create connections based on mutual respect, understanding, and values that are commonly held by both parties. Authentic relationships, in which there is no need for continuous affirmation, are the ones that tend to endure over time. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you that matters. What matters is how you react to it." Therefore, the next time you find yourself seeking acceptance or worrying about what other people think, keep these words in mind. Your ideas, your sense of self-worth, and your own pleasure are all things that you have the ability to control. You are able to live a life that is entirely in accordance with who you are, rather than who other people want you to be, when you stop seeking approval from other people. Lesson number 3. Practice the power of silence. Now, let's talk about the enormous power that silence possesses. It was remarked by Seneca, another important Stoic philosopher, that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Excessive thinking, worrying about what other people will say, or reacting to situations that have not even occurred yet, are the sources of a significant portion of our pain. When it comes to how you can keep the peace in your life, however, quiet is one of the most powerful instruments you can use. A world in which everyone is ready to respond, express their views, or defend themselves might be a world in which the act of choosing silence can be revolutionary. In situations where life becomes chaotic, when someone attempts to provoke you, or when you are in the middle of a fight, the best response is frequently to not respond at all. You can diffuse the situation by recognizing the power that silence possesses. You are steadfast in your refusal to give in to the negativity, the drama, or the emotional strain. As an alternative, you take a step back, take a few deep breaths, and view the situation from a place of calm clarity. When you choose quiet, you no longer feel the need to justify your feelings to anyone or prove that you are worthy of respect. You have come to the realization that the thoughts or comments of other people do not define your worth. In times of high tension, maintaining silence is a sign of strength and self-assurance. It is an internal recognition that you do not have to participate in every conflict that comes your way. Due to the fact that it demonstrates self-control and self-respect, your silence speaks volumes. Practice is the only way to acquire knowledge on anything like this. If you are someone who has always been fast to respond, it is possible that at first it will feel odd or even uncomfortable. However, as time goes on, you will discover that silence is a source of power for you. Before you say or act, it gives you the opportunity to reflect, which in turn gives you the chance to select a response that is thoughtful and in line with your values. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius encourages us to take a step back and refrain from reacting hastily to the actions of others. When we are reminded of this, he says, "If someone does wrong, the harm is theirs, but the injury is not in what they do to you. It is in what you allow yourself to feel." To put it another way, when you choose quiet, you cease allowing the acts of other people to determine how you feel emotionally. You regain control of your tranquility and make a conscious decision not to allow the commotion from the outside world to disrupt your inner quiet. Your emotional responses will begin to shift as you begin to exercise the power of quiet, and you will become aware of this transformation. You won't be as easily triggered by the words or acts of other individuals. Instead of reacting on the spur of the moment, you will allow yourself the opportunity to pause, think, and then determine how to participate in the most effective manner, or whether it is even worthwhile to engage at all. Those brief intervals of silence will allow you to acquire a more profound comprehension of both yourself and the circumstance. You will come to the realization that the best effective answer is often silence in many situations. In its own unique way, it is not passive. Rather, it is assertive. You are making a conscious decision to conserve your energy and safeguard your tranquility by remaining silent. The ultimate source of strength is not the volume of your words, but rather the quiet strength of your presence. This is where true strength may be found. The next time you find yourself confronted with a provocation, a disagreement, or a period of tension, it is important to keep Seneca's words in mind. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Do not allow yourself to be dragged into unwarranted pain by perceived slights or reactions. Rather than that, embrace quiet as a powerful tool. Let your deeds and not your words be the ones that speak louder than anything else. Lesson number 4. Let go of toxic relationships. In addition to being emotionally hurtful, toxic relationships, that is, connections that deplete your energy, reduce your sense of self-worth, or consistently bring negativity into your life, can also prevent you from developing into the best version of yourself. A sense of obligation, guilt, or loyalty may be the driving force behind these connections. However, the fact of the matter is that you do not owe anyone an explanation for why you have chosen to put some distance between yourself and the other person. An announcement to the world or a confrontation are not the most successful ways to break out from these connections. The most effective method is to refrain from doing either of these things. It is often the finest thing you can do to put some distance between yourself and the situation in a quiet and gracious manner. Let rid of connections that are harmful to you. This is the 4th lesson, which many people may find challenging, but it is absolutely necessary. Additionally, Epictetus was quoted as saying, "Do not explain your philosophy, be a part of it." The fact that our actions should mirror our principles, rather than merely our words, is a potent reminder that this is the case. It is important that the people inside your immediate environment, whether they are friends, family, or co-workers, reflect the values that you hold dear. In the event that they do not, it is time to release them. In addition to being aware that life has a limited amount of time, the Stoics placed a strong emphasis on the value of using time wisely. You could leave life right now, Marcus Aurelius wrote in his poem, Meditations. Give that the power to decide what you do, what you say, and what you think. The essence of the matter is that time is valuable, and every moment that you spend in a relationship that does not contribute to your development is a moment that you pass up. You can quit wasting your time and energy on people who aren't contributing to your personal development by removing yourself from poisonous relationships in a more covert manner. One of the most difficult things to do is to let go of individuals who have been a part of your life for a significant amount of time, particularly if you feel a sense of obligation or attachment to them. However, when you realize that these connections are preventing you from moving forward, keeping you stuck in destructive patterns, or simply draining your energy, it becomes abundantly evident that parting ways with them is the most beneficial option. Your energy, your attention, and your sense of tranquility can all be reclaimed when you cut ties in a quiet manner. It is not necessary for you to provide an explanation, debate, or battle for your decision. There is nothing more to it than making the decision to safeguard your health and give priority to relationships that are congruent with your belief system. Those who adhered to the Stoic philosophy held the belief that genuine happiness originates from inside, and that the people we choose to surround ourselves with ought to lift us up, present us with challenges, and provide support for our path. As the ancient Greek philosopher Seneca once advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. However, this does not mean that you should break off all communication with everyone at the first hint of a disagreement or conflict. Rather, it means that you should recognize when a relationship is no longer mutually useful or healthy. By removing toxic people from your life, whether it be a friend who continually undermines you, a family member who is always critical, or a co-worker who pulls you down, you create room for relationships that nurture and support you. This makes it possible for you to have more positive interactions in your life. Your values and your vision for your life will naturally attract people who are in alignment with your values and vision. In addition to bringing positively into your life, these partnerships will also present you with challenges that will push you to develop, improve, and become a more improved version of yourself. At the end of the day, letting go of relationships that are harmful to oneself is an act of self-care and regard for oneself. Picking serenity over drama, development over stagnation, and authenticity over conformity are all important choices to make. In addition to safeguarding your mental and emotional well-being, you will also make room for the individuals who are actually deserving of being a part of your path if you choose to cut off these unhealthy relationships in a covert manner. Lesson number 5. Embrace emotional independence. In the 6th lesson, we will discuss the concept of emotional autonomy. Throughout his meditations, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself on multiple occasions that you have power over your mind, not over events that occur outside of yourself. Recognize this, and you will discover the strength you need. These deep realizations are at the heart of the Stoic philosophical tradition. Realizing that your emotional state is fully under your control is the first step toward achieving emotional independence. Quite frequently, we make the mistake of letting other people to instruct us on how we should feel. We frequently allow our feelings to be influenced by people and events that are external to us, whether it be a harsh word made by a friend, criticism from a partner, or even the situation of the world around us. However, when you rely on other people to make you happy or validate your feelings, you are giving up the authority that you have over yourself. The fact of the matter is that your feelings, your mental tranquility, and your level of happiness should not be contingent on the acts or opinions of other people. Learning to rely on your own power and wisdom is a better alternative. Taking this action will result in the formation of an emotional fortress around you, one that is impenetrable to any negativity, drama, or disorder that may be present in your environment. Your ability to maintain emotional independence enables you to respond to the challenges that life presents from a position of inner calm, rather than allowing yourself to be carried away by the feelings that are occurring in the present moment. Just for a moment, try to picture yourself being able to enter a room, confront a stressful circumstance, or have a challenging conversation without allowing the feelings of other people to dictate your own internal state. If you are able to cultivate emotional independence, you will be able to maintain your sense of stability regardless of the circumstances that are occurring around you. Eventually, you come to the realization that you are the only person who is accountable for your emotions, and that no one has the authority to force you to feel anything without first obtaining your permission. The emotional fortitude you possess will be of use to you in every aspect of your life. When you are confronted with adversity or disagreement, you will no longer react in a reactionary manner. You have the ability to pause, reflect, and select how to behave in a manner that is congruent with your beliefs. This will prevent you from being swept away by feelings of anger, frustration, or grief. Individuals who possess emotional independence are able to exercise control over their responses, rather than allowing external circumstances to take control of their mental state. The moment you realize that you have the ability to manage your emotional state, you will no longer be at the whim of the influences that come from the outside. You have the ability to remain unmoved and unshaken by the ups and downs that life throws to you. You will no longer be thrown off balance by the moods of other people or by the unpredictability of the environment. You, on the other hand, maintain a firm stance, firmly rooted in your own sense of self, and regardless of the circumstances, your inner serenity is unaffected. Epictetus made a profound observation when he mentioned that wealth does not consist in having great possessions, but in having few wants. When it comes to emotional autonomy, the same holds true. Being able to feel good about yourself does not require you to always receive affirmation, praise, or reassurance from other people. You are already equipped with everything that you require within you. As you come to terms with this idea, you will discover that your emotional environment becomes more tranquil, and you will start to flourish regardless of the challenges that life presents to you. So, begin the process of developing emotional independence right away. When you feel that you are being dragged by forces from the outside, whether it be a difficult conversation, an emotional reaction from another person, or a scenario that feels overpowering, remind yourself that you are the one in charge of the circumstance. You have the ability to select the response that you prefer. Through consistent practice, you will develop the ability to become more resilient, calmer, and stronger, thereby leading a life that is entirely under your control. Lesson number 6. Trust the process. Those who adhered to the Stoic philosophy were aware that life would never proceed in a linear fashion, and we should not anticipate that it will either. There is no way to avoid experiencing failures, challenges, and periods of uncertainty. On the other hand, when you have faith in the process, you stop trying to struggle against the flow. Instead of responding to every difficulty as if it were an insurmountable roadblock, you stop doing that. Instead, you start to make the realization that every single step, every single struggle, and every single unexpected turn is a component of your development. Have faith in the procedure. The Stoics were fully aware of the fact that life, on average, does not proceed according to plan. A famous saying attributed to Seneca is that no man was ever wise by chance. It is impossible to control everything that happens in life because it is full of unexpected turns and twists. They are the ones who finally find success, not just in terms of external accomplishments, but also in terms of inner peace and insight. Those who embrace the trip with all of its uncertainty are the ones who discover success. When you think about it, how many times have you been stressed out over something that didn't go according to plan, just to find out later that it was all a part of something far bigger? Whenever we have faith in the procedure, we give ourselves permission to let go of the desire to exert control. It is time for us to let go of our strict expectations and begin to accept life for what it truly is, a journey, not a destination. In spite of this, we are not going to give up on our objectives or stop working for betterment. To put it another way, it implies that we cease trying to force things to happen in our own time and without our supervision. We have faith that the cosmos, or life itself, has its own rhythm, and that there are moments when the greatest thing we can do is to let go of the reins and allow the process to unfold in a natural way. Stoics frequently emphasize the significance of acknowledging the things that are beyond our ability to control and concentrating on the things that we have the ability to affect. We acknowledge the fact that we do not have complete control over everything by putting our faith in the process. Regardless of whether the events that occur to us are positive or negative, we are able to learn to adjust, grow, and discover significance in them. According to the words of Marcus Aurelius, the impediment to action accelerates action. Whatever is in the way will eventually become the way. Each and every difficulty, impediment, or unexpected turn in the path has the potential to become an opportunity for personal development and education. When you finally give up trying to fight the process, you will start to feel lighter. Because of this, you are no longer burdened by the weight of expectations, the strain of wanting things to be perfect, and the irritation of finding impediments. Instead, you take each step that comes your way with patience and trust that it will lead you to the place where you need to be. Trusting that the process, regardless of how chaotic, unknown, or unpredictable it may be, is guiding you in the correct way is the most powerful thing you can do. In the same way that you might not always be able to see where the current is bringing you, the current will eventually carry you to waters that are calmer or to a new destination that you did not anticipate. Consider the following quote from Seneca: "No man was ever wise by chance." This is something to keep in mind the next time life does not go according to plan. The trip itself is the source of wisdom. It is the ups and downs, the obstacles, the victories, and the failures that make up the voyage. Through the act of trusting the process, you give yourself permission to be led by life, secure in the knowledge that everything is taking place precisely as it should. Lesson number 7. Focus on your growth, not their opinions. 7th and final lesson. Pay attention to your own development rather than the views of others. According to Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. These lines serve as a potent reminder that the quality of our lives is determined by the world that we experience on the inside. Nevertheless, how frequently do we allow the opinions, judgments, or expectations of other people to have an impact on the choices we make or the path we choose to pursue? When it comes down to it, you simply cannot let the viewpoints of other people determine how you should spend your life. If you are always looking for approval or validation from the people around you, you will put yourself in a position where you are unable to escape the cycle of external influence. Whether they are well-intentioned or critical, the individuals who are in your immediate vicinity do not live your life, nor do they follow the route that you choose. You are the only one who does. For this reason, it is essential to concentrate on your own personal development rather than on the judgments of others. When you stop caring about what other people think and instead begin to concentrate on your own growth, you will be able to construct a life that is wholly and completely up to you. The life that you live is one in which you make choices based on what is best for you, rather than on the desire for approval from other people. Rather than seeking acceptance from others, you turn your attention within in search of direction. This change in perspective is quite freeing. It is about living a life that is genuine and keeping true to who you are, rather than being someone that other people consider you to be. The fact that you are receiving constructive criticism does not mean that you should disregard it or disregard the advice of those who care about you. Nevertheless, what it does indicate is that you should cease judging your value based on the norms of other people. Whether or not they agree with the decisions you make, your development is solely your responsibility. You are the only person who can comprehend the path that you are now on and the difficulties that you are encountering. In addition, Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, and to love." He makes it quite evident that each day is a privilege and that you have the ability to create your ideas, actions, and growth according to your own preferences. Putting your attention on your own development and refusing to let the opinions of others dictate your course of action is the first step in liberating yourself from unneeded distractions. You shut off the negative energy, the judgment, and anything else that isn't contributing to your growth and development. Your life is constructed from the inside out, not on the basis of what other people believe you ought to be, but rather on the basis of who you actually are. At the end of the day, it is up to you to walk your road. The more you adopt this way of thinking, the more you will come to the realization that the only opinion that actually matters is your own that you have. Put this question to yourself. Are you living your life for yourself, or are you living your life to fulfill the expectations of other people? Concentrate on your own personal development. Believe in yourself. It is important to keep in mind that the only thing that may prevent you from living the life that you genuinely desire is your own decision to stop allowing the opinions of other people to determine your reality. And with that, you have it. 7 profound life lessons that will profoundly alter the way you live your life, all of which are inspired by the wisdom of the Stoics. These teachings are not about reacting to the world. Rather, they are about slowly disconnecting from things that are no longer beneficial to you. As soon as you begin putting these lessons into practice, you will observe a change in the way that you engage with everything, including people, circumstances, and your own feelings. Keep in mind that the Stoic path is not about fighting against the world. Rather, it is about regulating yourself and the reactions you find yourself having. Take care of your energies, have faith in the process, and concentrate on your development. If you found these lessons to be helpful, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and share which of these lessons resonated with you the most in the comment section below. Always remember to keep developing and evolving, and to avoid reacting to them by cutting them off in silence. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, remember to keep your strength and your Stoic self.